Hey guys, I am back. It's been a minute, and by a minute I mean like 3 months, very long minute. But I'm back today with a tutorial. I did a tutorial on this look right here using the Morphe x JACLYN Hill Vault collection. I used this guy, which is Ring the Alarm, as well as the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and then including also her original palette that she made with Morphe as well. I just really like how this look turned out, especially using like all of these warmer shades, especially for fall. I mean, you could rock this during whatever you want to. I just feel like this is very fall appropriate, and I'm feeling very fall-esque right now. I've gotten like 4 or 5 pumpkin spice lattes already, and you know, I brought out the yellow turtleneck, and I'm feeling very festive for that. And yeah, I guess I will see you in just a second. Okay, I have my coffee. My face is all primed. I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night, so I'm very, very, very groggy, even though I'm filming this at like 12:30 in the afternoon, but so to start off with, I just did my brows off of camera, and then I also just primed and then put a bone colored eyeshadow over top of my primer, over top of my eyeshadow primer. That way it just kind of like evens everything out. There's no stickiness. I don't like stickiness in my eyeshadow primers. Some people really do, but I just don't, so I tend to set it. I'm going to start with the Morphe x JACLYN Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette. This is part of her collaboration with Morphe with the Vault collection. I was obsessed with her original palette. Everyone who knows me knows that. But I really like all these shades, and especially like this access shade. This access shade right here is something that we're going to be using a lot today in this tutorial. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and take the JH30 brush, and this is basically just like a fluffy, really dense, oh, she's got some stuff still on her. But basically I'm just going to take this and dip it into that shade Access right here. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid, and mostly just as a transition shade. We're going to be using this shade a lot, especially when it comes to blending out all the other shadows. Okay, so now that we've set that base down, that's basically just going to be the transition for all of the other shades that we're going to be using today. I'm going to take the Morphe JACLYN Hill JH32 brush. This is basically just a Morphe M441. She also said that in her video, so you could use that one if you want to, or whatever nice tapered blending brush that you have. And I'm just going to take the shades Secure and Agent and just kind of mix those together. And then I'm going to place that more just within the crease of my eye and not really take it anywhere else. I'm just going to keep it right in there. And I'm not too focused on blending quite yet. I'm mostly just focusing on placing the product. Alright, and as soon as that color is already like packed in there, I'm going to go ahead and just take that original JH30 brush, and I'm going to just dust all over the eye. This has no additional product on it either, it's just the original brush itself. That way it just kind of deepens it up and it doesn't look just like yellow. I feel like I still don't know like what to say in these tutorials, because I feel so awkward when I'm like sitting here like in front of the camera. I'm like, hi. So my battery died, of course. Anyway, so I just went ahead and basically this is just an overview. I went and just blended everything out with those 3 shades that we were using from the Armed and Gorgeous palette. And now I'm going to dip into the, which one is this one? Aha, Ring the Alarm palette. This one is the more like berry, sort of like warmer tone red shade. So I'm going to go ahead in with the shade Mugshot. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Morphe M433 brush just to apply that. And I'm just going to load up my brush with that guy. Really just have it just like that. And then I'm going to just tap that onto the center of my lid. And then as I tap that on the lid, I'm going to buff it into my crease a little bit more too. And it's okay if this is sloppy because, ooh, she's very sloppy. It's okay if this is sloppy because we're gonna be able to fix it later and then blend everything out. But I'm just focusing on placing that color down first. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead with that M441 and just blend everything out. It doesn't have any other product on it. We're just using it strictly to blend everything out. Okay, and then another extra step, I'm going to go ahead in with the shade Framed just to make it a little bit deeper, but I'm really going to focus that one on the outer portion of my eye, not so much in the middle, or not so much in the inner portion of my eye, but mostly focusing on the middle and in the outer corner. And I'm keeping that pretty low down on my lash line as well. I don't want to bring this up into the crease just yet. I just want to kind of place that color right there. Okay, and now I'm going to go back in with that M441 brush and then just going to blend it all together. Okay, now that I have blended everything together, I'm going to go ahead in with that JH30 brush and then just go back. Where did my palette go? Ah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that shade Access. Like I said, we were going to be using this a ton. And I'm just going to go over everything again and make sure using that as that transition shade to really, I dipped into the wrong color. And really just blend everything out. Okay, and now I think I'm going to dip into the original JACLYN Hill palette, but I'm going to take the shade Roxanne, which is this like nice deep reddish color. And I'm just going to take that on an M330 brush, and I'm just going to use this more to blend everything out. And I also think I'm going to take a little bit of the color Hunts as well, and just kind of mix those two together just to make it a little bit more vibrant. Oh, and I'm putting that in the crease as well. Also, I just want to apologize if the lighting keeps going in and out. I am using natural lighting as well as like my studio lighting. So it's being kind of iffy with me today. I'm still trying to get used to everything. Like I said, it's been a nightmare trying to figure out how to film and stuff recently. So bear with me while I get everything all figured out. Okay. Okay, and now everything, I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. But now you can see everything is very like warm and smoky and not bronzy. Burnt. I don't know. I still don't know how to describe shades. Like people ask me like, oh, what kind of shade this is? I'm like a burnt orangey sort of like creamsicle, brownish, pukey color. Do you want to make a cameo? Look at you. Oh yes. Oh. She hates being on camera, but she loves me, so she do. I put her on my video, the very first video I ever came out with, and she like would not be held at all. She like hated it, but now she's like, I mean, she still hates it, but she loves me a little bit more to deal with it. That's right, baby. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this JH41 brush. This is also part of the, this is basically just like a JACLYN Hill Morphe video if we're just gonna call it what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead in the original palette and take the shade Queen, which is this super beautiful like gold shimmery sexual color. I'm just gonna load up my brush with that, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of my MAC Fix Plus, just a little bit, because half the time people don't ever really like say anything, but if you douse the brush too much with Fix Plus, it's gonna totally ruin the look, and it's just going to make everything like really sticky, and it's not gonna blend very well. So I like to put it on the brush and then just wait a little bit. But then I'm just going to let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in and just kind of carve out a little like bit of a crease. I don't have a super defined like natural crease just because I have more hooded eyes, but I'm just going to go ahead and basically just wing it and open my eye a little bit and only go about halfway. I'm not going to do anything like too far in, but I'm just gonna basically fake this crease a little bit. I'm not going to fill anything in really too far over here, just because I want that still to be a little bit dark, and I'm going to add a different color there in a minute. A lot of times you're going to have to go back and forth, especially with a cut crease, because nothing's going to be completely even. It's almost impossible to get everything completely even anyway, but I just try my best and go over it. It is a little bit tedious, but it's worth it in the end when you have that nice, precise line. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the shade Firework, which is the one right next to Queen. It's a really shimmery brick red. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to dampen that one too much. I'm just going to place that on the outer portion of my eye and just use that to integrate that queen shade into the rest of my look. See, that way it just looks a little bit more blended, and I have a really hard time trying to blend out shimmers with mattes, only because I feel like it just kind of looks a little bit messy. But I'm going to go ahead and just take this shimmery shade. I feel like it just looks a little bit more, like, not natural, because yes, I am just a natural beauty queen, honestly. But no, I just think that this is a little bit more easier to do, and it looks a little bit more purposeful and just a little bit cleaner. So that's why I like to use more of a shimmery shade. And then I go on top with like a matte or something if I really wanted to darken it up a little bit. But using a shade like this is going to be a lot easier to blend out, as opposed to like using like an intense matte shade that's just going to, like, you know, overpower, and then you have to go over with the shade again, and then again, and then again. It's just a long cycle that it's like, we're all lazy. We don't really want to deal with all that. Okay, and now I'm going to just dip back into that shade Queen and just fix everything up and make it a little bit more intense on that inner corner. Okay, and now that we have got that down, I'm going to go ahead and once again blend everything out with that M441 and just make everything look nice and seamless. Actually, I think I am going to go ahead and dampen my brush a little bit with that Firework shade. Just on the outer corner, just so it looks a little bit more ooh. Alright, so now I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off camera and do my liner and then do my base, and then I will come back to do the rest of the face. Okay, I'm now back with all my base on, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face that I think is going to really tie in this entire look. It looks really crazy before the finished product. It's one of those where it's just like, okay, but it's gonna look good at the very end, I promise. So I think I'm going to take my Physicians Formula bronzer and this JH02 brush. This is a really, really good bronzer brush. I think this was the one brush I was the most excited for when I did order her brush collection, just because I love bronzing, and I've just always been obsessed with like the Tom Ford brush. I've never tried it, but I really wanted to, but I feel like this is something that's extremely similar to it. I'm not entirely sure like on application wise, just because I haven't actually tried it. But I'm actually really, really loving this brush. But I'm just using this to bronze up my face a little bit so I don't look as paper white. It's really difficult being pale sometimes, because when you do looks like this that are like so bright and fluorescent and just intense, it just looks so scary on your skin before you put bronzer on. It's literally the most terrifying thing in the entire world. Okay, so I bronzed up my face, and now I think I'm going to go ahead and put some blush on. And once again, I'm just going to take the JH04 brush. I don't know what blush I want to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Milani Luminoso blush. I said brush. The Milani Luminoso blush, and I'm just going to dust this on the apples of my cheeks and basically anywhere where I just kind of want a little bit of color. I'm going to take this Morphe M507 brush. It's basically just like a pencil crease-ish brush, something. I don't know what it's actually supposed to be used for, but I know I just use it for like the crease. No, I don't. I use it for the lower lash line. I use it for the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade Mugshot from the Ring the Alarm palette and just build my brush up with that. Oh wait, hold on. I stand corrected. I'm actually going to take the JH39 brush. This is a more dense pencil brush, and I'm going to take Mugshot on that brush, and I'm just going to dust it right underneath my eye, really focusing it on that the inner portion like of my eye. I don't want to drag it down too far because I'm going to be using other shades to kind of blend that out underneath. I'm mostly just placing this color right against my lash line. Oh, the sun is back and she is looking fine today. Hello, babe. Then she's gonna leave me in like 0.2 seconds so I can look like a drowned out clown again. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and go back into that Armed and Gorgeous palette and take the shades Secure and Agent and mix those two together and then just blend that out. Blend out that Mugshot shade. Mugshot shade. Alright, and after I blended both of those out, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Access again and just run that on the very, very lower portion of my eye. I keep getting like eyeshadow in my eye and it's like twitching me out, yo. Okay, so now that that lower lash line is done, I'm just going to go ahead and pop some white liner in my lower waterline, and I'm going to go ahead and take the NYX, this is just their Jumbo Eye Pencil. I really need to get a new one of these because I think I've had this for way too long. I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay, so now that is done, I'm going to go ahead and spritz my face with a little bit of Fix Plus before I put on highlight. I always like doing this only because it's going to really like make that base kind of, I don't want to say sticky because I don't want to like refer to skin as sticky, but it's basically going to go ahead and really prime the skin for highlight, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that my skin is nice and sticky, I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, what? I don't even know what highlight I want to go in with. Oh my gosh, I've done this look like 4 times now, and I still, every time I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills X Ombre highlight. This is honestly one of the best highlights I've ever tried in my entire life. Woo, Nelly. She is glowing. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and go back into the Armed and Gorgeous palette again, and I'm just going to take that shade VIP and pop that on my inner corner. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara and lashes, and I will be right back. What a difference lashes make. Oh my good lord. Okay, so we're almost done with this look. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some lipstick, and I think for this look I'm going to go ahead and apply the Tarte. This is their Color Splash lipstick, I think, and the shade Colada. It's this really beautiful, just kind of like nudie peachy color. Alright, and this is the finished look. I'll go ahead and zoom you in on the eyes just a tiny, tiny bit. You can kind of see that it's really just like a really blown out, warm, smoky eye. And oh, the highlight is popping today. I love how that upper highlight ended up turning out too.